Hey, you guys, this is Shannon's for news, views, and conversations. I was just popping in today to bring you the news. I think you guys have already heard about it. Shannon Sharpe is no longer at ESPN. And the kicker is they are saying they're going to try to see if they can get Ochocinco, Chad, to take his place. I'm hoping that this is not real information, but if it is, we're going to see how it plays out. But I'm hoping that he does not take the bait. I hope that he does not go through with it because it's clear to see they're trying to use him, Chad, to play in Shannon Sharpe's space, especially with the fact that they have the nightcap together, the camaraderie they have together, the friendship. It's definitely a bad move. I know zillions and zillions of dollars, that's a big bait. It looks like a hard no to turn down, but it depends on what the money means to you. It depends on what the friendship means to you, the camaraderie that those two guys have in the show that they do on the nightcap. Just in general, I think it's a definite no. I think Chad should not go for it. I think he should walk away. Too much has happened. Too much is going on, and clearly they're trying to use ESPN as being the mainstream, the big wigs. We're bigger than the nightcap. We're bigger than Club Shay Shay. Why wouldn't you take it? So I hope that he declines it as he should. I don't think it's a good idea because I look at it as the same way they have handled everything with Shannon. They would do the same thing to Ochocinco. He's no different. He's still black. And also, since he paid the OnlyFans chick the 23 million, I'm hearing that there's another lawsuit, and this time she is against Shannon and Chad. I did a little bit of digging the other day. I think Willie D actually interviewed the lady. If you get a chance, go over there and check out the video with who the lady is. He says he's very, aware of who she is. She's supposed to be a decent chick. So that's why he's trying to find like, okay, what is really going on here? She says something, what's up. So definitely go check that out. But I just think it's definitely just a no-go for him to go over to ESPN. It will be a definite slap in the face. I definitely don't think that he should do it. How I look at it, because I do a lot of research and I do a lot of reading, it's almost like allowing mainstream to use the Willie Lynch letter to divide you guys, to play in each other's face, to sell your brother out for mainstream so you can go up, even though he's been let down. It's like playing in each other's face, playing off of each other because you're after the money. As I always say, what will you say no to? What will you, not make that big of a difference? I mean, how much money do you need? Especially if you've already been there, you've been in the limelight for so long, for a long time. How much more money do you really need? That's the question that I would ask in this situation. But just wanted to pop in, share that with you guys. It's just so whack and just weak of them to even try to pull a stunt like that. I had to say something about it. So just want to pop in and share that with you guys. Got to see which video I'm going to put with this one. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.
But Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe settled, apparently. Apparently, he went through a settlement, and that could be for multiple different reasons. Now, some people are speculating that Shannon Sharpe settled because, it was a possibility that, she could really get into his pockets and all of that stuff. I don't believe that. But let me first get into the article, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts. So initially, she was suing for $50 million. And I've been warning y'all. I've been warning y'all. I've been preparing y'all. I've been telling y'all. I've been trying to convince y'all that y'all need to chill out, relax, that it was going to be a trickle down effect on most guys when you started to see these lawsuits come out. First, it was the New York Survivors Act. And the New York Survivors Act then was mimicked over in Los Angeles. And a lot of that stuff went away, right? It was so many different people that got accused, and I don't want to bring their names back up because I think that they were falsely accused, but it was a lot of men, both famous, not so famous. It was thousands of lawsuits that were filed against guys. One of the more notable people that you can mention probably is Eric Adams. Eric Adams got accused of something from over 30 years ago. It was a woman that basically accused him from something that he allegedly did in the 90s. That went away. One of the reasons why a lot of these lawsuits go away is, or they're no longer reported on, even though if they're exploding news at the moment, is because a lot of guys don't want to deal with the BS of false accusations. I know that it be people in the chat, myself sometimes included, that says, yo, listen, if you ever accuse me or accuse certain people of things, then we just gonna have to fight it out to the death. And one of the reasons why that's important is because you need to set a precedent so that people can't just continue to do it. But most men do like most men do, and that is what they do. They settle. And the reason that they settle is not necessarily because they're guilty, but the possibility of being able to be on the hook for it, along with the exorbitant lawyer fees for continuing to fight this type of thing. And then also the last thing, and this is probably more important than the money itself, is that a lot of these guys don't want to go through the discovery process. So even if you did it, and even if, because like the text messages was released, right? Even if you didn't do anything, and even if it's a thing where it's like, okay, I didn't do nothing, I shouldn't be accused of anything, everything was consensual, it don't mean that you wasn't probably doing something that was crazy that people would be like, oh man, he might be a little sassy for that one, or oh, he just a little too freaky. Diddy, for example, right? I don't believe that Diddy did anything wrong outside of domestic abuse or something like that. Like something that had to do with domestic, something misdemeanor like. But when we started to talk about RICO charges and he had to actually go and spend the money to fight it, they say that he spent upwards of 20 to 30 million dollars in order to beat this case. And the judge still can sentence him to a decent amount of time, right? But he beat the RICO. And so we know, based off of the evidence that was presented, that Diddy under no circumstances should have ever been under a RICO charge, right? However, it was the discovery that absolutely had us like, ooh, as content creators, right? Diddy's reputation, dude rubbing gas, jizz on his nipples, and Cassie, taking two and three at a time, and you know what I'm saying? He liked to watch other dudes bust down his chick and all of this stuff. And so the discovery phase could just be just as impactful when you talk about a long-term earnings, especially with a Shannon Sharpe, whose platforms may not necessarily suffered as much, but the potential bag that he was negotiating for, they said that Shannon Sharpe was upwards of over $100 million negotiation. All of that got shelved, right? So for a lot of guys, it's like, man, you're gonna ruin my earning potential. And this is why a lot of guys have to be careful. You don't want to be targeted. It's hard enough to deal with the fact that you could be targeted just because you are who you are and you are super successful. And people have no sympathy for rich people, even if the victim is the guy that's being accused, right? They don't care. Oh, you should have tightened up. Oh, you should have did things differently. Oh, it just blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So when you start to think about the public perception, the potential for losing a lot of money, along with the prolonged battle of fighting this person, and then you still might have to pay out some money, most guys then just go ahead and go with the settlement. So I don't look at this, and we're going to get into the article. I don't look at this as a knock on Shannon Sharpe. I look at this as a cultural problem, and we need to solve for these people that are filing these frivolous lawsuits, because it's been happening for a long time. And I keep telling y'all that it's going to trickle down onto regular everyday people every single time. Every single time. So it says Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Fame tight end and media personality, has resolved the lawsuit in which his ex-girlfriend accused him of rape, according to a woman's attorney. I'm trying to be a little bit more PG-13 Anton, because I know that y'all said that y'all working in the daycares and the churches. I got you. The woman whose lawsuit referred to her only as Jane Doe is seeking $50 million for pain and suffering, psychological and emotional distress, mental anguish, embarrassment and humiliation. Her attorney, Tony Busby. Tony Busby is the new, I don't know, who was the ambulance chaser from the 90s and the 2000s. This guy, man. This is the person that the women go to when they trying to finesse. They probably already got his name in their phone to dial. Who knows, right? But good God, man, this guy. Somebody said Busby is making a lot of money. I believe that these type of people are going to go to hell, honestly. I believe, see, this is the difference. This is the thing. When they say it's harder for a rich man or a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich man to go into heaven. This is that is a because some of the most successful people and the most richest people were God's favorite in the Bible. When you're talking about rich, you're talking about, the spirit of a person that worships money, meaning that they're willing to ruin another person's life or willing to take away something that somebody has worked for or willing to leverage women for the box in order to take away a dude's earnings. I believe these are the type of people that give lawyers a bad name. When you talk about lawyers and legal representation, that should be a profession where you have to have great ethical standards in order for you to be able to perform those type of duties. People, taking advantage of the system in order to finesse people out of money. I hate those type of people, bro. I can't stand it. It's almost like they ruin it for everybody else. For myself, for example, right? I'm in the game, and nowadays we've already been able to sort through the real and the fake, right? But it was a time, especially during the pandemic, where there were a lot of guys that was taking out PPP loans and they was fronting and acting like they was really getting to it, or people was selling courses and the courses didn't offer you no value, or they would lie and give you bad information that was going to get you locked up, and so it was a lot of scammers and fraudsters and all of that type of stuff, right? And what it did was it gave the rest of people who actually was looking to add value into people's lives, who's actually built businesses, who's actually leveled up in corporate America, who's actually been successful in life, or who just wanted to add value into people's lives because they had information that was useful for people, and they should be compensated for the information that they give out. It gave everybody a bad name. It ruined a lot of things. So now everybody was super skeptical. I use Umar Johnson as an example a lot of times because he came under the guise of, I want to do good for the community, I want to help people, I want to add value into people's lives, I'm going to build this school for people. But then over time it showed itself to be nothing more than a finesse in order for him to be able to continue to maintain his lifestyle, right? And so it was a grift. It was 100% a grift. And so when people get a bad taste in their mouth from getting finessed, or they look at things with a skeptical eye, and that's how we look at politicians, because there's bad politicians that make it bad for everybody. Now we automatically assume every politician is bad. They make it bad for lawyers. We look at doctors and we say that they scamming insurance and all of this stuff, when there are some good people out there. But the fact of the matter is, when you get people like this that take advantage of the system and use women in order to finesse guys out of a bag, it makes it bad on everybody else. It's just the truth. It's just flat out the truth. And that's why I can't stand those type of people. Her attorney announced a dismissal Friday in a post on X, but did not specify the details of the settlement. Sharpe publicly denied the allegations immediately after his accuser filed suit in April, calling the case a shakedown attempt. I still believe it's a shakedown attempt. He has maintained that he and the Nevada woman were in a consensual relationship, which Busby confirmed in his tweet. After protracted, respectful negotiations, I am pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution. All matters have now been addressed, and this is what he was saying in it. All matters have now been addressed. I will pull it up. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. A lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice, right? So when I start to look at these type of stuff and I pay attention to the stuff that's happening and how things is playing out, again, it makes me throw up, bro. It's so nasty, it's so evil. And so people being taken advantage of because they are successful. Now, there are things that you need to do to protect yourself as a man. And one of the things that you need to do to protect yourself is stay away from these snow bunnies, these young snow bunnies. I have to listen, man. I'm always going to stereotype. I am always going to make that conversation a start. I know that y'all think it's cool. I know, yeah, man, young white women, they nicer, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're more likely to be submissive. They're more likely to sue you and record your conversation and send it over to Tony Busby. That's what they're more likely to do. And y'all could fight me on it. Y'all could keep going back and forth. You can keep on talking about how, oh no, they better than no, they just like everybody else. I think that they're more conniving. And the minute that you get yourself in a relationship as an older man talking to a younger chick, and she just so happened to be a snow bunny, I'm gonna just keep it 100. You in trouble. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Listen, bro, if you're a fort, this is gonna bother some people, but it is what it is. If you are a super successful, for you regular dudes, go ahead, do what you want to do, get with your snow bunnies, get with the young snow bunnies. You're a 45-year-old black man getting with and you make $70,000 a year, and you decide that you want to get with you a young snow bunny, and you want to spend your 401k money on her. Have at it. I really don't care. Nobody is gonna stop you. I know that y'all want to be seen. I know that you want to, you want to be acknowledged. You want me to make sure that I don't, Anton, I can't believe you said that. I promise you. Listen, on everything, on everything, on my daughter, I do not care, not even a little bit, about who you bust down, as long as they are above age and you're not doing nothing illegal. Nobody is going to see you out in public and say, "Hey, it's you. I can't believe you're dealing with a young snow bunny. You're out of age." No, I promise you, bro. You think you got more clout than you really do. If you don't have no real presence in this world, if you're not making no moves, if you're not really getting a lot of money, and even if you are getting a lot of money, if it doesn't come with social proof, meaning that it's a visible thing, and I'm not saying that you should want the social proof, do your thing, live your life. I promise you, nobody cares. If you are one of those type of guys that gets offended at me saying, listen, you shouldn't talk to young snow bunnies if you got clout, you're not the person that I'm talking to. I promise you. Go do what you want to do. I believe that anybody should be able to talk to whoever it is that they want to do. I may not necessarily agree with it when it comes to my beliefs, or whether or not I think the age gap should be a little bit more narrow, but that's just my personal opinion. You, as long as you are not breaking laws, do what you want to do. If you want to go over there and get you a passport chick, if you want to think you got a family and you only see her twice a year because you're taking a spirit flight over to Thailand or the Dominican Republic, and she told you that you are the man of her dreams, and no chick was checking for you in the United States of America, but you are the man of her dreams, and oh my God, I just want to be with you. I will be your family and I will take care of you. And you sending her money all year, and you flying back and forth 3 times a year in order to go visit her, and you think that that's your wife and your girlfriend. Have at it, bro. Have at it. I promise you, nobody is going to be mad at you if that is what you decide to do and live your life. I'm not checking for you. I know a lot of these dudes get mad at me. Yeah, I don't understand. It's a new game out here. He just wished that he can go passport broing and all of that. I really don't. I promise you. I promise you, if I never paid for box here in the United States of America from a prostitute, I promise you I'm not looking to take a spirit flight to a different country where she's filled with diseases and you was able to bust her down. I don't believe that. I don't believe that a chick that you was able to bust down should even be in my presence. So don't worry about it. Don't ever worry about whether or not I'm talking about you. I'm talking about men of significance that have visibility and a lot of money, whose net worth is probably well over $5 million. If you are one of those guys, be very, very careful about the guys that you go and get it, or about the people that you go and get involved with. Because if you are a 40-plus-year-old man, the majority of guys that get a lot of resources, they're above a certain age. They've put in the social status. They've worked their butt off. They've done all of that, right? If you are a guy that have a significant amount of money and a lot of clout and visibility, don't get buzzbeat, okay? That's all I'm saying. Do not get buzzbeat. Do not deal with a younger chick that is out here ready to tell on everything and give up all of the game on what it is that you've been doing. That's all I'm saying. Don't get Sharpe. Don't get Shannon Sharpe. That's all I'm saying.